Right, here we are. Totally not late. Only 7 minutes. Let me get all of this away. This is on the phone. We should have at least 4 times potato quality. So let me know how it's looking. Good day to the early on watchers. Did I turn on chat? We're a bit later because I was like, why is everything harder? Because I'm on the phone. I have to copy paste things. I don't have the thumbnail. Good day, fellas. How's it going out there? It's going to put, so this on the phone, the chat is very small. I'm going to try to get the live stream up here on the computer so I can watch myself live, and then I can see the chat, right? That'd be sweet. Let me know how the audio is, by the way. That'd be nice to know. Hello, fellas. Antonio. Abraço lá para Portugal. Antonio, Carlos Chão. Willems, hello, man. Hi, everyone. Claudio. Alles goed, Erwin? Hola. Let me get this on the... What I didn't think through is where I'm going to leave the phone, right? Let me just put this here. How's that? Latvia, sweet. Just leave this here. Oh, how's that? It's going to get this here ready. Audio is good. Excellent. Do you hear the fan? We got a fan here because it's pretty hot. It rained earlier here, so it's cooled off, but yesterday was pretty hot. So I got a fan here running. Audio is perfect. Hearing you fine in Australia. Yeah, sorry that I'm upside down though, but you're used to that. Still ignore Instagram. I'm almost there. Let me get this here, so I can properly concentrate. Let's see. Show me the live streams. There we go. Now, show me the stream. What do we got? Well, let me hook up the phone. Power. Hey, let's see what we got. Well, let me hook up the phone. Let's not repeat that. Power. Cool. Now I got chat here on the side. That's excellent. Images now. Yeah, I'm looking at what we got here. It's a lot better, eh? I already did a test earlier. So that is great. Instagram. Yeah, man. It's coming. Instagram is coming. Fan noise not disturbing. Excellent. You cannot see any video. Really. Thanks, man. Love your vids. Thanks. Try maybe refreshing. Not sure. You can see me, right? Power. Transylvania. Nice. Transvagrashan. Still got to do the Alpina one day in Romania. Ciao, Castigo. Andrusha, you're getting your vaccinations. Yeah, man. Grab your wallet. When I started in 2014, when I decided to go do the vaccinations, that was like my first step. Was it before or after the car? I ordered the carnet. That might have been before I got the carnet down. And sorry, message popped up there. Yeah, that was. How do I turn this? I'm getting messages over. They're not ending up in the live stream, right? Okay. What I was saying is that, yeah, so before I got the carnet, I got my vaccinations, and the first session was like 200, 300 euros. And for me, that was like, okay, there's no more turning back. Now we're spending money on that. This is real. This is going to happen. And I ended up paying like, I don't know, 400 maybe for vaccinations, 400 euros. And it's been a while. I should, in Brazil, I can get yellow fever shot for free, I think. So I should really make use of that still. But I haven't had shots in like 5 years now. But good luck, man. Right. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was all about, but we're back. Like I said, we're doing something different. Live stream on the phone. Come back, everyone. Come back. I'm still here. Don't leave me. We are back, boys, and the occasional lady. The stats don't lie. Yeah, VMAX, Portugal, regards South Australia. Mate, sorry that it's so hot out there, but nothing new, right? Mallorca. Hello, Christoph. Tanato. Sweet. Bulgaria. Luscious green Bulgaria. So people are, let's let everybody roll in for a second again. Then I'll show you where I'm at here in Brazil. Welk land? Jille is asking here, welk land wil je ooit in je leven nog een keer bezoeken? Shall I translate that? Would that help? He's asking, which country would you like to visit? Well, there's a few. I've been trying to get up to the United States and Canada. As in maybe countries that I've been before. I would like to go back to Japan, Mongolia, do a tour around Scandinavia. That would be sweet. Visit Moscow through that way. Hello, Germany. Guten Tag. Vancouver, BC, represent. What's up? Pennsylvania. De groeten uit Nederland. What's up, Michiel? From an Italian guy in Switzerland, you are doing wonderful travel there. Thanks, my dude, Simone Brundu. Thanks, the Jazza King. Glad you're enjoying it. Vertaling niet nodig. Well, you will have to fight the other ones. We'll want the translations. See, this is what happened. If I use my right hand, my greasy fingers, it's actually, I'm watching myself. I can actually just watch the chat here, right? But then I'll be looking at a screen. Hi from Romania. Wait, this is actually very confusing. What's up, Marcel? The phone, I'm still carrying. Whoops. We're actually here on a table. We hoisted it here through a cable. Fabrizio, help me out. Oh, you have no clue who Fabrizio is, right? Because they haven't put that in the video yet. Here's the phone. I still keep it in case I need just I still need some info off it. But it's been pushing for a year. It's been pushing the cover further and further out. And then I'll notice, oh yeah, I think the battery is getting a bit puffy. So, you know, had a good life. Maybe I shouldn't keep it in my bag like that. Ooh, hola, Luis Artur. Wait up. So don't ask any real questions yet. Let me show you around the place here. So so Fabrizio is someone who like more than a few, many actually, send me messages like, hey man, if you're around, come visit, let me know. Okay. So I don't always do that, but occasionally I do. And he replied, yeah, sure, come on over. And he's here in Arroios do Sol. That's south of Torres in Rio Grande do Sul state. And it's this very long stretch of beach, I think, hundreds of kilometers. Reminds me a bit of Australia, you know, like the wild beaches. So Ubatuba, you have like the mountains and you these bays, and out here it's just long stretches of beach. So he was kind enough to hook me up with a room here, and we hoisted a table. We got Inception now. We hoisted a table here over the balcony so I can make video for Monday. And speaking, hello brasileiro. And speaking of that, as I think as of next week, we should get to the regular programming. So next week and a half, and it's going to be at least two a week again to free, and still got a little bit of catching up to do. So that is that. So we're here for now until I can get the cases on Alp, which are being sent, not the cases, the soft panniers, which are being sent to where Fabrizio actually lives. This is the little summer place of the family. He lives in Porto Alegre, and my stuff is being sent there. Soft panniers, really basic ones for now, and still waiting for those. And also I'm waiting for new motorcycle papers. So that is still on the way from the Netherlands. It's not papers anymore. It's these cards, you know. I only saw that recently, that now it's these plastic cards. I still had the old school papers that I lost. What's it called in Dutch again? Forgot. But now it's this plastic card with a chip. They can track Alp around the world now. So that's still on the way to Sao Paulo, and someone in Sao Paulo is going to send it to me wherever I am. So I'm kind of waiting for that, for the bags and the paperwork, so I don't have to work with copies anymore, because I don't. Some of you on Facebook, I don't know if you read the story, because this didn't go in a video yet. It's going to go in late at night, and also of my copies, which is of my paperwork, which I lost in Chile. And it's basically a printout of a photo of the paperwork. Is the stream still up? Yeah. It's a copy. It's a printout of a photo of the paperwork. So it looks horrible on an A4 piece of paper. I actually have it here. Not going to show it, otherwise you know all Alp's secret information. So every time I went to the border, people ask, "Oh, is this a copy?" Like 90% of the time, "Is this a copy?" Yeah, no big deal. Like, and it was all good. So I gotten used to that. But they can make a deal out of it, and that's what happened in Argentina. But I got into Chile. From Chile, I went to Bolivia, went back to Chile, and I went back to Bolivia one time. And then in Bolivia, I actually went to northern Argentina with those papers, and then back into Bolivia again. And then we went with those papers to Brazil, and all was well. I'd completely forgotten about it. That, you know, that I was traveling like that. I got used to it. And then late at night, and they say, "Look, man, if you want to pass now, they're going to confiscate your bike, man. So yeah, don't do it." So then I had to turn around. Oh, well, that's the visa story. You'll see. And luckily, because of the weird border situation there, the passport stamping and the customs is separate from each other. I didn't do the paperwork for Alp on the way out, which is 6 months, but the visa is 3 months that I gotten. But Alp still had good paperwork. I didn't check out, so I could turn around and bring Alp back into Brazil. I left it with someone. Really lucky with that. And then I went to Argentina without Alp. Spent the night there across the border, came back in, not sure, because officially I could not enter back into Brazil after I've stayed 3 months. But the enforcement of rules can be a bit different sometimes when you're not, you know, like in very tourist heavy areas. And they let me back in. So that was good because Alp was waiting. So imagine if they didn't let me back in. There was someone who could help me out a few days later. But imagine if I couldn't get back in and Alp was still in Brazil, and it would have, you know, it all ended quite well, actually. It was really weird. Like with a rider there who works in related to border stuff without getting too many details. So I got lucky because he provided me with some info on how to deal with this. All right, let me see some messages. We got VMAX Rider. Thanks for the dono, man. Nice support. Hoje vai jantar por minha conta. Abraço de companheiro de Portugal que te acompanha há bastante tempo. Abraço. Do I need to translate that one? I think so. That's from Portuguese. And he said, VMAX Rider said, you can eat on my account. And a big hug. Been there following you from the start from Portugal. Obrigado, VMAX. Let's see what's going on. Let me scroll a little bit back. Make up your mind, Pedro. Which one are you going to use? The laptop chat or the phone chat? Let's see. RDW 2.0. Je weet, de RDW. Ze volgen mij nu met de chip, weet je. Ze weten alles nu. When you finish this trip, are you planning on changing the bike? On my opinion, the old dogs sound better than the new toys. I don't know, man. I'm not going to be like, oh, forever I'll be on Alp. No, I will get on a different motorcycle one day. Try different flavor. There's great bikes out there. I just appreciate Alp very much and her service and how she just keeps rolling. One day, might try something else, but Alp will be there too. Reiners Vilnius. I was following every episode from 2017 Motovlog 33. Your videos have inspired me for my last ride in Sweden and this year's mega ride to Norvegia. Thanks for all the inputs. Cheers, man. Vilnius sounds like from the Baltics out there. Thanks for being there from during way back and have a great ride, man. You're visiting an area that I want to visit one day. Diederik de Mits, groeten uit Vlaanderen. Nice videos. De groeten terug, Diederik. Greece. Say here. Zwijki Pedro, Zwijsien. This is from Mati Satrovskis. Zwijki Pedro, Zwijsienino Latvias. Hello from Latvia. Hello back from Brazil. My man. Nice view. View's pretty good. So yeah, the visa, you know the story. I'm back, but hopefully that won't have a weird tail end video. Anyway, visa's good now. We'll see what happens. I remember Yellow Duck Hunt in Valparaiso. Yeah, man, remember that? When I still did some of those, the city tours, because I wasn't on the road, so I had to show something else, The yellow duck, that was pretty neat. Big fat yellow duck in the harbor of Valparaiso. Didn't the Brazilian government stand down the visa for a few countries? By standing down, you mean like canceled? It's a recent thing. It's not on it's Netherlands and a lot of other. I think I'll just assume all of the European Union, maybe bar Portugal, has been limited to no extension because of reciprocity. And the guy got pretty pissed at in São Paulo at Polícia Federal where I tried to extend. This is the lesson, right? In capitals, when you try to extend, not like me, don't leave it until the end. Just like in Santa Cruz, capital cities are very busy. So they don't have patience for you. There's a lot of immigrants there too, and they have really bad stories. I'm just some bloody tourist from Europe, right? There's people coming in there desperate. They have kids. They're trying to stay in the country. They're trying to work. So there are all these pleas that there's a lot of tension in these immigration offices, right? So they're very short. They don't have time for you. And when he said that, I was like, oh man, really? And he snapped at me like, what do you mean really? He's like Polícia Federal. It's like, oh, okay, wasn't expecting that. No, that's just how it is, man. Just how it is. You can't stay. Okay. So that was clear. But what you can do, right? Because it's the capital, because they're so hardened, they know the rules, they're hardcore. You can go to a different city, maybe a different state, and go to a much calmer Polícia Federal, much calmer immigration office and try your luck there, right? That's why you don't leave it. until the end, and then have to go on these crazy dash for the border. Well, sometimes you have to, but I've only learned this afterwards. So if you go to Brazil, now you know. From Europe, you know the cheat code to stay longer. Try that. Kentekenbewijs. Ja, kentekenpapieren. That's right. Oh, someone left. Oh, Candice Moto, thanks for the support. Hope to see more videos. My husband and I also bought Transalp and love them. Awesome. What, like the 700? We still got a 650 or my beloved 600 Alp. Thanks for the support and hope you continue on enjoying the vids. It's one of the ladies watching. It's like 1%. I've got the stats. Hi Pedro, why do you often drive till late in the evening? It's very dark there when there are no street lights. Groetjes van Arco and Ada. Nog een fijne reis verder. Yeah, it's like a habit. I don't mind riding in the dark. And some days, I remember the first time I really did that was in Turkey in the hills. I was just trying to get to a city. Sometimes if I just feel like I want to keep going, I'll just go in the dark. And it's one of those things people go, yeah, but it's dangerous riding in the dark. But here's the other thing. If you don't do it, you won't get better at riding in the dark. So I've gotten pretty comfy riding in the dark. Sometimes it's fun riding in twisties in the dark. But like the day before yesterday, it was less fun because there had a lot of big trucks, 16, 18 wheelers coming through the inside corner and they completely blind you. You're on the outside, which you can't go too much on the inside because there's a big truck. Then it's less fun, but I don't mind the dark. I didn't do it in Australia though, because that's what they nonstop warn you in Australia. Don't ride during dusk, don't ride during dawn because of all the animals. You hit them, you die. That happens a lot there, but other countries are less animal dense. Canada will be the same probably too. I don't want to hit a bloody moose, that'll be the end of me. But other places, yeah, I'll ride in the dark. I don't mind that. Simon Brundo, I found you searching video about the Ducati Multistrada. When you published a video with the Multistrada guy in Bolivia. Thanks to that, I'm following you since then. Sweet. Keep on following, man. The Multistrada. I'll see her again, hopefully, once I make it to Texas one day. Taiwan #1. Sure. Dope, man. Don't pick the good things. Don't do a lot of things, but pick the things that I do well. We got FB. I got some HRK. Thanks for the support, HRFB. Thanks for the support, FB. No message, but thanks. Hola Pedro, Rodrigo Z, ¿vuelves a Chile? Probablemente sí. Yes, I will, because when I go down to Patagonia, I have to go multiple times back and forth, all those border, because it's a big mess down there, because you used to be such big friends back in the day with all your friendly wars and whatnot. So it's become a bit of a mess. So I will be back in Chile, and then I'll come back up to Chile in Cordillera to a certain extent, and then do the Argentinian side. So I'll be back in Chile, weón. Looking forward to that. And maybe see a familiar face or two would be cool. Sandro Tieli. Hi, Pedro. What is your one piece of advice for a young driver, 25 years old, who has experience with driving motorbike, but has never driven on a solo long trip? My bike is a BMW GS 1150. Got a big boy. First of all, what I always say, just start. Make that first trip. Be it a weekend, be it a long weekend. You can sneak in a week. Just start getting that experience. You don't have a top case or whatever. I don't know. Just chuck your tent, sleeping mat, and whatever in a plastic bag, and strap them onto your bike. put clothes in a backpack, put that in a plastic bag, strap them on there, and you'll find out and figure out your preferences. But you first have to get out there. That's the number one advice that I will give you. And second, look over your shoulder. Always look over your shoulder, even when you don't feel like it. And you'll see that over time, you'll have those moments, and it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. Oh shit. Yeah. So that's advice number 2. Look over your shoulder. Get out there and look over your shoulder. That's it. Diogenes Ostuni. I'm glad to see you're back in Brazil. I'm from Sao Paulo, but now live in Canada. When you come around Vancouver, let me know. You inspired me to cross Canada and the USA last summer. Dope. Hope you had a great trip, man. I'll get there someday. That is great to hear. I'm going to try something. Let's try and elevate. We're going to have a little intermission here. Okay. How's that? Bit higher up. Cool. See, now we're a bit more level. Let's see. That's right. Just get going and figure it out. And then you'll grow your preferences, right? You'll grow preferences. Oh, I would like this. I would like that. I would like to do things a certain way. When I looked at it starting out, I never really saw problems. You know, there's things I would think about, oh, what about that? But it was mostly, oh, I would like this. I would like that. So I say that because sometimes I met people that are looking very much at the issues, mainly just more what could go bad than what could go well. And more will generally go well than what will go bad. And you still have no clue how well some things will go, actually. So you're just going to get positively surprised if you don't ride. If you ride with some decent capacity, you'll be all right. That's what you'll notice. Like, hey, this ain't that bad, especially nowadays, man. Let's have a look. Will you drive to Alaska after going to Chile? I would like to, very much, very much. So this is the thing. Some of you, who've been watching from the start or quite a while know what happened. You know how I got bogged down a bit in South America. You know how things went. So for me, going down to Patagonia is like, we're going to build up escape velocity for South America. So that's going to be my ride down and then up my way out to Central America and get up to North America. How's the quality, by the way? If I look at the stream behind here, it's raining now. Sometimes that has effect on internet in some places. But let me know if the quality drops. Good luck, Andrusha, changing your tires. Get them on there. Don't let him get under 2 mil. That's the end of the world. I had someone. I once rode a tire to canvas, which is not the best thing to do. And then someone looking at them was like, man, nah, here, take one of my old tires. We're putting that one on right now. So change your tires. Quality isn't bad. Okay. Like internet has been surprisingly good in a lot of places in Brazil. Started out bad in Corumbá, but I've been to so many places where it's in between 10, 20 Mbits to 50, 60. Sao Paulo is still so far the best internet of my life that I had there, which was 100, and that was when I was in what's the name? In the suburb in that Airbnb for a few weeks. they had like almost 150 mbits. That's a solid 12, like 18 megabytes per second. That was really good. That was where I did the last live stream on the Potato. So it ain't that bad sometimes. Af en toe hangen. Ja, dat is jammer. Pedro Henrique, onde você está agora? Estou em Arroios do Sal, south of Torres, which is about 150 kilometers from Porto Alegre, north of Porto Alegre, in Rio do Grande do Sul state. It's pretty nice, but it's raining right now. But the forecast was a week of rain, so we actually had sun today, which is excellent. I think it's a bit of the rainy season the last 3 weeks. Pawlowski, hello from Switzerland. Come at my place when you are here. Will do, man. Like I say to everyone, when you see I'm more or less in the neighborhood, send me a message. Give me a shout. Ooh, I'm thirsty. AFB, it's not much, but student life is hard. Thanks, man. Thanks for that. Having a look-see a little bit back up here. How many kilometers? Terry L, how many kilometers does Alp have? Alp is getting pretty close. I kind of lost count because I'm on my third speedometer and I've done quite a few kilometers without the speedo connected due to issues. I think we're getting to 200,000, and on this trip, I reckon 130,000 to 140, 150. That number might be changing. I need to figure it out properly again. But yeah, Alp's been riding for a while. There's some pieces on there that are getting pretty old, and sometimes I think electric stuff maybe needs a little change, but so far she just keeps on going. God bless you, Honda, and the bikes you made back in the day. Let's have a look-see. Enrique Nascimento, are you in Patagonia? No. So, like I said, waiting for the side panniers and waiting for the document, which might take a little bit, unfortunately. Then start heading on down. In January, I wanted to be on the road already, you know, because it's summer. This month has been weird. Like last 3 weeks, been in limbo because of that whole thing going to the border. I could have done the cases early. Thanks, Bud, who has been messaging me for a couple of months, and he wants to send me Moscow Moto bags. Very nice bags, good as new, unused. Quality's dropping there again, while more rain is falling. It might be related. Let me know if you can still see me. See, string dropping quality. Let me have a look here at something. Now it's still connected. Yeah, there's more rain falling now, so that's probably why the quality is dropping. And I'm on Wi-Fi, you know, but it has more to do with the external internet connection. The quality is dropping. Should be back right now. The stream continue. Are we back? Can you see me? Quality is very low. Yeah, that sucks. I see a lot of pixels on there. So yeah, someone in the United States wants to send me Moscow Moto gear. So I didn't order the bag. So I was like, well, maybe we can make that happen. Because for a long time I was thinking, no, you can't do that because if you send it to Brazil, Argentina, it will cost a lot in customs duties. It will cost the same price as new. So don't bother. But then I went to the border. I got to close to Paraguay, and then I heard from someone there's a service called Paraguay Box, and Paraguay is apparently one of the best places to send stuff from outside South America. Paraguay Box charges a certain amount per kilo. So I emailed them, but then I took like 4 or 5 days before I got a reply, and then I sent them to different emails that they had. So I only knew within like after 7, 8 days, like how they work, what was up. And then it would take like 2.5 weeks. And I was like, nah. And I decided not to go through with it because my plan was, okay, I'll just have them sent from the States and then I'll just go pick them up in Paraguay. So then I decided not to do that. And I ordered the bags that I'm going to have now, which are very basic. But I might have, if the guy's still up for it, I might have that done on the way up. Have more time. Now I have to make use of summer. We still got February, which is officially summer, and then March. But after March, it will cool down rapidly. It's already going to start to cool down in March on the way down. So yeah, Golden Bear, go with the Moscow gear. Yeah, it looks completely over-engineered, but a lot of stuff makes sense and it looks tough ass. But maybe I'll get my hands on that later on. So that's been happening. And then the paperwork, where am I going to send it? It's a bit in limbo. So I wanted to be on the road, but we're going to get there and we'll be on the road. I try to just push it out. Otherwise you just keep thinking about the thing. Like I say, right now I'm in a beautiful spot and I just want to think about that. But I've been thinking a lot. I just want to be on the road. Meanwhile, I kind of am on the road, and I got the waterfalls of Foz do Iguaçu, which is cool, and nice and great people around me. Hi from South Africa, Kroonstad. Finally a new city there's a lot of cities I don't know in South America, but it's always Johannesburg or what's the other one? Big city. But never heard of Kroonstad. Hi back from Brazil, Jacques Calas. Could you show us the view from our window? I'll surely do that again. I lost some people. Fortunately, the string's been dropping. So now the rain's here. We had a sunny morning. And so I went for a swim. It's a bit colder than in Ubatuba, right? But my shorts, they're ripped from the back. And I don't like going to stores and buying clothes stuff. So I'm always a bit lazy in that regards. So I don't have new shorts. So I'm not going to swim with ripped shorts, right? So my butt will be sticking out. So Fabricio didn't have any other shorts, but he still had some old. So just imagine, I was wearing this. I went the Speedo way, the man's way. Put on a pair of Speedos, wear it proudly into the ocean, and it was nice. But now it's raining. Viewers is dropping, so I reckon still it's not great quality, unfortunately. Yeah, it sucks. Last time was also in the rain. But we had proper Sao Paulo fiber optic lines. Hook the phone up. Here we are. Oh, now I can see there's a big latency. Manziaze wal Abi. Hola, much love from Africa. Thanks, and all the way back from Brazil. Roelof Speelman. Harry Pedro, leuk om je weer live te zien. Leuk hotel, zit je zo te zien. Ik ben de gast bij Fabrizio. I'm a guest here, but it is very nice indeed. Traveling Eagles, Stefan Swerts. How easy is it traveling through Pakistan? As I'm looking for a way to travel from India to Europe. You can. People do it. I haven't been, but you can do it. I'm not sure if they still do the convoy thing, because that was back in the day. That was the word. Getting a convoy, get to the other side. But I'm not sure if that's still the case. But you can get through Pakistan. Do you seek any information about the country before visiting it? Marcio Pinto. Yes, some more than others. I have a feeling like, oh, it's a bit tough one. Might be tough at the border, or what do I do with money, or I might do some more research. And others, I just ride up and find out what's going on. I remember for Bolivia, I did a little bit more research because I'd just been to Argentina and the ATM was horrible, the ATM fees. And I was like, oh, I got to find out how is the money situation then in Bolivia, which was a lot better than Argentina. Go figure. Um, Visa wise, South America is very easy. I think there's no easier continent than South America in that regards. Visa and paperwork, as a European Dutch person, right? But the motorcycle paperwork is piss easy here, and you don't pay for it, right? Um, Going over the mainland from Europe, or Africa, definitely. I'm not that I've been to Africa, but things that I've heard, read, that's a lot harder. So it's worth to do research, right? Oh, do you need a carnet? You go to Iran. Oh, I need a carnet. You go to Australia. I need a carnet. New Zealand, carnet. African countries, carnet. But here, all the way down to up to North America, no biggie. Ken W. Keller, hello from Midwest USA. How far north will you be traveling on this trip? Man, all the way north if I can. That is the plan for a long time, all the way up north. Got to hit that window too, that summer window. Arcunda Tros, did you already change your chain and sprockets? Missed that, I think. Yeah. I'm not sure if I'm gonna explain that thoroughly. It was quite embarrassing yesterday. The next videos a few videos will show that. So what they did for the rear sprocket, they cut out from an existing sprocket, which had the right width, but not the right size. And they cut the outside out, and then they cut the inside of my old sprocket, which had the holes for the bolts, and we made something out of that. And I rode on with the same chain on there, and the same small sprocket, which still had some meat on there. And yeah, that was going well. And then yesterday, on the way back to the coast from inland, started hearing a bit of the sound of the chain coming from the chain. Wasn't good, not a good sound. And I've worn out some chains in the past. So I changed the front sprocket. Okay, let's do that one too, So I didn't want to change that one because it was new. I didn't want to run it on the old chain. And the plan was get to the coast, then I can get it through Mercado Libre, which I can't buy it. I need to find someone with a credit card so I can buy it. Get a nice DID chain. But if you get it at suppliers, they're grossly overpriced. They're like 300 euros. And on Mercado Libre, you can get for 160, nice DID, 525 chain, which is an uncommon size. So I've been pushing it. And so that yesterday, that sound was happening. And then it didn't change. The sound was still happening. And I was tensioning it when it's very worn out. It's very hard to tension a chain. It's not worth it. Very hard. So I was like, nah, I need to do something right now. So I stopped in the town at a motorcycle shop. And I asked, do you guys have a chain? He looked up, he didn't have it, the 525 uncommon. I was happy, Joe, man, if I can get my hands on a Chinese brand, that's all good. And in my head all this time was like, I want to have a DID. I want to have a DID, and just kept pushing it away. So I left the shop, and he made some calls around, only in the big city, 250 kilometers. There, I would definitely be able to get it. But he recommended a small shop that had big bikes that you'll have a shot there. It's 25, 30 kilometers from here. So I was on my way there, chain not making a good sound. I've been riding slower already. And yes, then it happened on a straight riding into town. The chain breaks and locks up the rear. and now I'm fishtailing with the bike, la la la. Luckily, I wasn't going so fast, and then it came to a stand. It came to a standstill, you know, and then I just had to lay her down. I don't lay her down; she falls by herself. So then and there, I expected her right there. Immediately pressed the clutch, but it locked up, and it was one of the most stupidest things I did in my life. So one of the. So I was pushing it just a bit too far. So people helped me pick up the bike from the road, right? I was all right. It was a very small, didn't even damage the bike, little scratch on the top case and a little on the frame, on the, not the frame, the crash bar. And no, I didn't hurt myself in any way. It was really silly. So they helped me drag the bike, right? So it was so funny. They helped me drag the bike off the road. And all of a sudden, right away, people start, hey, so where are you from, right? They just saw this guy fish still and drop the bike on the road, right? And they just stop and help me. And then the first thing, hey, where are you from? Hey, where are you going? Hey, how long you? So they were asking me all. The connection dropped. So they were asking me all these questions, and I just had this thing happen, lock up with the chain, because I just kept pushing it for too long. And you're asking me all these questions. All I could think about is I was still in, man, how can you have let it happen, gotten to this point, dude? So I'm like, at one point, I'm like, wait, hold up. Just give me 5 minutes so I can process this, you know? And then it was all good. One of the guys was super cool. He was like, hey, man, I'm just going to make a phone call. I'm going to run up to my place, going to make a call, and I'll get you someone. He'll pick you up, man. He's got a motorcycle place, a few kilometers up the road, man. Don't worry about it. So, and then we're just chatting with the folks, and then it was all right again. You know, it was just more that it happened. That felt really silly that it happened. And it happened in the most perfect way, too, because there's a lot of tailgating. And sometimes when I was slower, trucks would even tailgate me, right? If that happens in a corner, so you get yourself involved, other people involved, very silly, but it happened in the best place possible, on a straight line, no traffic around. So that was great. We put it in his van. The guy picked up really cool. I met some really cool people because of this. Take me to his shop. He's making phone calls. Nobody has him. And he calls this guy that I was going to. The guy called back and he said, I do have something. I have a 525 chain from a kid. He was the guy I was riding to, but he wanted 500 reais for a chain that cost Chinese chain that costs top 350 or so, right? But anyway, I would have gotten to his shop. I was 20 kilometers short and I pushed it a bridge too far and I just didn't make it. What happened is the guy at the shop where I was, he had a friend. He called him, hey man, didn't you have a Ducati? Didn't you recently change your chain? And the guy was like, yeah, I did, man. See if I can find it. So it turns out he comes to the shop. He has this 525 chain. I think it's KMC, the brand in Brazil. I think it's Chinese, right? I ideally want Japanese brand. But anyway, right then, doesn't matter. I wasn't expecting to get on the road again that day. So he comes with the chain. Look, I got a chain. And I only put 3,000 kilometers on this one. And so he helped put the chain back on. It was so funny. You'll see it in the video. We had a blast. And then I was off. And I did a bit of night riding. And then I stopped 50 Ks later, got a place. I wasn't expecting to be on the road. So the moral of this very silly story is don't do that. Just don't do that. But I was a bit curious, like how far can you really push a chain? But you know, don't do it. I readjusted it like 6-7 times before that. I just couldn't get it right. And one time it was too tight. I loosened it one time, rode on, loosened it another time, rode on, loosened it one more time. It was still on too tight, a little bit too tight. And I think there was too much tension on there and just pulled that chain. Anyway, long chain story. Hope I didn't bore you with that, but that was the silliest thing that ever happened to me on the bike. You'll see the videos. Probably going to lose some subs over that too. And Lodro Nemo. Absolutely love your video series. Do you have any plans to ride the Himalayas, especially around Ladakh? Yes, one day, man. One day. Southeast Asia. Come to India, bro, right? Definitely want to get up there in the Himalayas. See if they got some off-road. They probably should have some off-road, right? You got those main roads like Ladakh, right? But I wonder if they have some lesser known like off-road tracks, routes through there, because that would be pretty cool. Eduardo Cavioli, Argentina sucks. Calm down, man. I'm in southern Brazil here. You know the Gauch. It's funny here. The people in Rio Grande do Sul, they're a mix of Portuguese and Spanish, and they're all drinking their mate, right? Chimarrão. They'll drink their mate here, like Argentinians, Uruguayans. So it's interesting to see. I'm also looking forward to get to Uruguay, Argentina, in the sense that I'll have to start to speak Spanish again. But Argentinian Spanish has a lot more Portuguesified Spanish words, which is good because I learned to speak Spanish mostly in Chile, which is they don't really speak Spanish, but it is Spanish, but not really. So that'll be nice. Gonna have a good time in Argentina. Will you travel in Pakistan? Yeah, one day. You have to get through it, right? To get to India or to get out. I'm looking forward to the chain video. Oh no. So this is my life, right? So the bike's on the ground. I just locked up. I still haven't made those videos. So I gotta make those videos pretending like I don't know what's going to happen still. And then there's going to be the comments, hey Pedro, you should change the chain, right? And I already know what's going to happen. And so it's I'm not looking forward to making those because it's quite embarrassing actually. Shit happens, but you know, sometimes it's by your own design. Include more bike maintenance, oil changes, even small fixes. Look, you say that, right? And you've seen my videos. I do. I include maintenance. I include the things that I do. But generally, maintenance thing just people don't. If it's pure maintenance, people zone out. They don't want to watch. Most people remember my first videos, 100 episodes of building Alp, right? Just maintenance. I made like gained. That's where the OG viewers, when some of the OG viewers come from. I made like gained like 200 to 300 subs, 100 episodes, right? And I was cool with that because it was my video practice. Just do that, do a project, see if you could. Are you good for YouTube? Can you do that? You know, can you create a series and create videos weekly? But it's really tough, man. Mechanics is very nichey, and people are used to see me riding. They like to see me solve some problems, you know. But if the moment I start making a pure mechanics video, like in Antofagasta, like I actually had a very good peak going on beginning of last year when I started making the travel videos again. And then I got to Antofagasta and we started painting Alp, improving Alp, and that was like 2 episodes at least, right? And then viewership just dropped actually, and I actually had a pretty good streak going on then. Didn't know how good I actually had it then, and that didn't really come back after that. So that happened after I was making maintenance videos. So go figure, right? Jay, my wife and I are huge fans. Thanks, man. We love watching the people you meet randomly and have adventures with. It is pretty cool sometimes. And it's people that keep you going. You know that like I'll say it in the video that I'm still going to make, but that chain situation, it for what happened, right? Everything happened in a really good way and just fell into place. Sometimes it just goes like that, right? So those are the things so somebody asks a question, what shall I do? And I say, just start, right? Because you can't imagine how well some of the things will go when it goes bad. You don't know, you can't predict the future, right? And then sometimes you'll be surprised at, you know, when things go wrong, how they'll get sorted. You still manage to sort it. And that's pretty cool. Hey Pedro, what's your dream bike? Dream bike. I've said this before. I was almost going to say I don't really have a dream bike, but you know, Dakar rally style bike. I saw it recently again. Saw bits of the Dakar. God damn it, Dakar! By the way, your coverage. I hadn't seen the Dakar last year. It was pretty bad sorry, I digress here on a little rant, but coverage, when did I watch it? Last time, 2018, right? Clips were short. And this year, the clips are even shorter. Like, seriously, they show 3 minutes of a Dakar, of the Dakar stint, man. Like, come on. It's so short. And all I could see, the comments on YouTube were all like, dude, you're horrible. You're horrible. Yeah, how do you say that? You're not showing the Dakar properly. But anyway, that's the Dakar. And but I watched again this year, and oh shit, man, rest in peace, Gonsalves, man. Just goes to show, like with the Dakar, that's a motorbike. That's the realest shit, man. Those guys, absolute legends that do that, and the balls on those dudes, man. And that's how real motorcycles, riding a motorcycle is, man. Just these guys actually risk their life in a race, and yeah, man, that was rough. Um, but I'm talking about the Dakar because I asked, "What's your dream bike?" And that is, yeah, I see those Dakar bikes, and it's like, oh man, I want to say some things, but I can't say it. I can't say that. But you can imagine when I just see those bikes, and then the way they maneuver them, it just, makes me just want to get a one-cylinder, powerful one-cylinder, light gear, some really dope ass GPS, and just start mapping off-road routes, pure off-road routes. But those bikes, they're beautiful, the exhaust and how the suspension works. I said I met Juan Carlos Salvatierra in Bolivia, right? Most famous Bolivian rider in Bolivia, right? One of the biggest celebrities there, a hero for a lot of people there. And he rode the Dakar almost every year in South America. And I sat on his Dakar bike, right? And that suspension, it was like, you just get on it, and it was just, the travel went so far, but it's not like bad travel. It was like so smooth, so silky smooth, and the bike looks mean. And yeah, Dakar bike is my dream bike. Like I said before, I like the style of some models of the GS 800. KTM 790, is that right? Himalayan is an interesting bike. What was that one? New Africa Twin. It's a lot of electronics though, but it's still a nice bike. The adventure bike version has like this very big tank, but I like the idea of the smaller one they are releasing, which is a pretty good move by Honda. There's a lot more bikes out there, but I don't know that much about the other bikes out there. I mainly know like the dual sport motorcycles. I know something about that, and I like that the Triumph out of not in that style. The Scrambler Triumph, that Scrambler. If I would live in a city, that would be a neat bike. I like the style, the exhaust, pretty high up. That's cool. My dream bike would just be like an absolute dirt murdering machine, Like I have very bad suspension. The front end is completely messed up. I hope to just replace that one day properly. What I would like to know, like proper, modern bike, how it handles in the dirt, like the control that it gives you. I think it's immense, and I would like to play with that in the future. You know me, I carry the misses and the sink on my bike. Let's see. Chimarrão. You eat barbecue. Dude, do we eat barbecue? Oh, I can't. It's the pictures on the phone. You should see me. We had churrasco, and they have here in the house, they have the churrasco, the barbecue inside the house, and it's round. All sorts of meats on there. The peppers, the green peppers with cheese in there on the grill. Mint. No, I've been having good churrascos in Brazil, and it's only going to get better once we go into gaucho country in Uruguay and Argentina. Can I send a picture through this? No, probably won't work. We had excellent food here. Churrasco is barbecue, by the way. BBQ. And it's the barbecues is very, if you have the Netherlands, it's like, okay, let's have barbecue, get the fire going as fast as possible, toss the burgers and burgers on there, some chicken pouches, chicken wings, drumsticks, that sort of thing, and then finish off the barbecue, done. An hour and a half tops. And then out here, same in Chile and in Brazil, barbecue starts late, firing up the barbecue, burning wood, burning a lot of coal, getting it ready. That takes some time, and then start the barbecue, and it's stretched out over 2-3 hours. It's a different kind of experience. Diogenes Ostuni, do you have any tips to keep your mind in shape during some hard times on desolate roads when you are by yourself? Well, it depends, because those kind of roads might seem like, ooh, daunting, all alone. I think a lot of times it just depends what your mood is for the day and what you're trying to achieve. Just generally, if you ride, right, we know how to entertain ourselves on the bike, right? Singing, talking to ourselves, playing silly games on the bike. I don't know, like all sorts of things. I think it will sound familiar, right? So that will keep you sane. But if your mood is not that great on a day, then if you run into trouble, it can be a bit tough sometimes just to deal with it and not without getting too pissed. I've got pissed plenty of times, and then you find out every time, dude, it's not worth it. And it's usually on days where your mood is worse or you're in a hurry. Best tip that I can give is to not be in a hurry. Camera stuff, in my case, sometimes when the mood is not great and you're in a desolate place, you're trying to make something happen with the GoPro or something or the camera, and it's not working, and you want to keep going. You don't want to stop and deal with it. Camera work can frustrate the trip. Sometimes can get annoying, something like that. But if you don't do any of that, just keep your head clear, entertain yourself, and well, some people like in desolate places. I like the desolate places. I like going through like the Pampas, what's going to start south here, and especially in northern Argentina. That I don't care too much about. If it looks very much like agriculture, like green plains, like not like modified nature, touched by humans already, pampas with small growth, that's not so interesting. But if you got a desolate desert, or desolate mountain range, that like, and you just keep riding that all day, I have no problem with that. I love that. Sometimes just turn the switch, when you're like, you have this big goal for the day and it's not working out. That's the best one I can give you, sanity wise. Just forget the goal for the day. Just leave it. The more you hold on to it, it's a tough lesson to learn. I even recently was making that mistake slightly. Just let it go, make a new goal for the day. Petia N, did you service your bike before, or did you learn that during the adventure? I did a few things before. I remember before I left in 2014, I lived 1 month in Amsterdam. It's the only time I lived in Amsterdam and that I wasn't visiting friends. And I remember next to the tram lane, and I was changing the brake pads. Whoa. I was changing the brake pads. Oh, this is so stuck, man. Am I going to break this? Scary brake pads, So I did that. Maybe another thing or two. Ooh, I tensioned the chain. I tensioned the chain for the first time. That was dope. I put the panniers on there. Pannier rack. Yeah, right. Pannier rack I put on there. Panniers. That was a start. And then as I kept going on the road, I watched mechanics. I watched people that I meet doing things on Alp. And I repeat that. I seen people change the clutch twice. And then I get to a point where I can change the clutch. Sometimes you need some help. The clutch nut is tough. So lock down the bike, get it off. Sometimes it's rough. Just watch people and see what they do. Be intrusive. I'm a bit annoying when mechanics were working. I try to keep close, but not too much that I'm too close. And just ask questions, and then you get experience. So you get to a point where you might be in the Mongolia and someone's working on your bike, and you're like, hey, could you do it that way though? Well, you don't. That's the thing. You don't speak the language, but you're asking, could you do it? Be careful, you know. So you become a bit more aware how things work and how it works better on your bike. So you can say, hey, no, do it like that, you know. Be a bit annoying, but it's better because it's your bike, right? And the more you keep doing on your bike, the better you get at it. But you know, the modern bikes, full of electronics, full of screws, full of plastic, it's rough. When I helped Julio out with the Multistrada Ducati at the Salt Lake to clean out salt, right, from the inside. Happy we opened it up to get to the air filter. We had to remove all these plastics. That was new for me. A new bike, modern bike, sensors, clips, everything, man. When you put it back together, there's this cover for the fuel tank and the what do you call it? The tank, not the cap, where the cap fits into the plastic. That came out, and there's this rubber ring around it. So to get it back into the plastic with the rubber ring, I spent an hour on that, sweating profusely just to get it back in, you know, very frustrating. But I kept going, and that's how you learn. That's mechanics, man. You're going to break some stuff. You're going to lose some stuff, but some stuff is worth it, man. Oil change, try an oil change, try an air filter change, try a chain change. You learn along the way, man. Just look what other people do. Francisco Reis, do you speak Portuguese, Pedro? Haven't you been watching? I speak some Portuguese, a little bit. Fala um pouco português, sim. Ele é de Portugal, pois é. Leonard Erisman, you are one of the reasons that I will start South America, North America trip in September. Dope, man. Get on it. It's been funny, man. I've been here 2 years, right? There's been people coming and going, and they get up to North America or coming down before I do, man. It's insane. I'll have my time. My time is coming soon, folks. It's going to happen. Beginning next month, we'll be going down to Patagonia. That will slingshot us to North America. Pedro, do you ever miss home? Jeroen van der Schali asks. Family sometimes, yes. Home, not so much. Back for the Netherlands, I'm not ready for that. Maybe from what I expect out of life at the moment and what I want to do, and Netherlands would be the polar opposite. The places that I see, man, and how I ride, it would be rough getting back to the Netherlands right now. And I still enjoy the travels that I do, and I enjoy very much the YouTube thing we got going on. So that's my mission for now, and we'll see in a year and a half, 2 years. Then I want to get to a point where I'm like, yeah, now I can go back for a bit, but I do miss family, friends, few friends, you know. There have been moments where I wanted to share some rides, some places with friends. Witzquito. Hey Pedro, saludos desde Misiones, Argentina. ¿Cómo mantienes tu estado físico? So he's asking me, hey man, how do you maintain your fitness, like body? I've been on a bad streak, and that's sometimes like I like the gym. I went to the gym the first time when I was like 11, 12. Nothing hardcore, and for many years I wasn't. But after 25, I did it more seriously. Took it more serious, and when I was in 2012, in traveling in Australia, I got back to the gym. In uni I would go to the gym, but nothing too serious yet. But then when I remember in 2014, when I came out of Japan, I was like going to Australia and I was like, oh, I'll be back in Sydney again. They have the workout ground, in Bondi Beach, on Campbell Parade there. And I can work out. I was looking forward to that because I like that. And then I did that for a bit. And then I started going to the gym. And then when I went working in the Outback for 4 months, I bought gear. I bought weights, went to Kmart, got myself some weights, myself a barbell, a bar, and so I could work out in the Outback. But the last year, when I went back to the Netherlands last year, when my uncle was in a dire state, for 1 month I went with my little cousin. He's built like a shit brick house, man. It's amazing. And I was staying at his place for a month, and we went back to the gym like 4 or 5 days a week, and I love that. That's especially in this case, someone who knows what he's doing. I just started following his routine. You don't have to think, just with someone doing that sort of thing, that physical exercise. I really like that, and I have been missing that. And I wanted to do that when I was at Santa Cruz, but been very low on funds. That's actually an excuse. You don't have to necessarily go to the gym, but once you get used to that, you want maximum effect. But also when you train, you eat a lot of, it's nice to get on protein. You have to buy the creatine, but you eat a lot, and food, even in cheaper countries, is still expensive. So I didn't do it for a while. And that's the thing, I love riding and love this traveling thing, but it makes like the gymming, to do proper exercise, a bit harder, at least the way that I would like to do it. And a big part of me wants to really get back to that. But there's still things that I've done during travels, if you pick that to keep in shape a bit. Calisthenics, you can do while you're on the road, next to your tent or in the hotel room, push-ups. If you're lucky, you'll find a spot to do pull-ups. Sometimes I can grab a bar, like a frame, the door frame. There's things you can do standing, just standing up, just to get the muscles moving, but just basic stuff. If you see a bar, start doing pull-ups. So that I do on the road, but it's been the last 6, 7, 8 months hasn't been that great in that regard. So I want to get back on that more. JT in Spain. Your Dutch Portuguese background puts you in a unique situation linguistically speaking, bearing in mind how gifted inhabitants of both nations are at languages. Very impressive. Cheers, my dude. It helps. Though it also creates a lot of confusion in your head sometimes with language. Just a second to get a knock at the door. Say entra. Tudo bom? Já vem. Depois já vem. Obrigadinho. Tá tranquilo. Oh, sorry, folks. Interruption. All good. We're back. Intermission. I don't know anymore what I was talking about. Yeah, language. It gets confusing up there, though. Too many languages. It's not good for your head. Now you are one of us. Pedro, how do you keep your body healthy? Writing. So similar question. You need a lot of vitamins. So sometimes I'm actually taking up some space with vitamins too now in the bag. It's a bit annoying. So that's a bit tough, I haven't done that most of the time. But for example, I wanted to get on vitamin D and zinc. That's a good for men, for dudes. That's a good one. Vitamin D, zinc. So I had 2 free of that, but you're always so bulky and just chuck it in the bag. So I have very little space for that. Just like I can't carrying out, workout supplements. I've tried in Australia. I tried that. I still had my membership for the gym there. What's the name? I forgot. But they had multiple places in Australia. So in the beginning, when I left Sydney to the West Coast, I actually tried to go to the gym. It was really tough. And then once you leave New South Wales, cities become with more space in between, less places, and then all the way to Perth, there's just nothing, you know. So that didn't really work out. The workout didn't work out. But yeah, right now got a few vitamins, but it's a bit tough carrying all that stuff around. Tough as in just takes up space. Saba Pavai. Keep going, Pedro. Ride safe. All the best. Thanks for the support, my man. Will do. Will do. Do you greet other motorcycle riders everywhere you go, or is it only a thing in certain countries? Mostly, yes. You know, the old, the greet, or when I started out riding for the longest time, when I would get overtaken, usually faster bike, someone would stick their leg out. It's like, why is he sticking his leg out? But then I found out riders also greet each other when they pass by sticking the leg out. I think I wasn't getting dissed, I hope, but otherwise everybody was dissing me. I don't think it was that. It was a greet. Most countries, yes, but then you get to a country where there's motorcycles like everywhere, where it's the norm, like the light bikes, 150. All of a sudden, there's not a lot of greeting. But what happens? People who ride the big bikes, 600cc and more, they still greet you. So I pass all these 250, 125 bikes, no greeting. But then the moment you pass someone else, it's usually someone also traveling on his bike, and immediately you get the greetings and you give them back. In Japan, in Hokkaido is like pilgrimage for motorcycles in Japan. So everybody goes up there, and there you would even greet scooters. Can you believe it? Greeting the scooters. But for those people, it's like their first ride, and then they have like their scooter, and they go, we're going to go to Hokkaido. So Japan is all islands, so they go up there, and there you would greet the scooters. But once you're off Hokkaido, you wouldn't greet the scooters anymore. Sorry, scooter folk, so it's the way she goes. But yeah, mostly greeting. Not when I rode in China, yeah, no greeting, but that was almost only 150cc bikes. People weren't familiar with recreational riding, really. Leg out means thank you. Well, there you go. Would you rather, John O'Neill, would you rather ride a city or on a deserted road? Deserted road, yeah. I know it's been, especially people who tuned in Bolivia, right? Where I'm at one of the peaks of where I actually made episodes about it, of just fun, crazy off-road riding, right? And then all of a sudden, what we did in Brazil, mostly on the highway, mostly because of how things went. Yeah, dirt road is just deserted road. It's where so many things come together. It's just complete feeling, slightly religious, slightly exciting. Sometimes a hint of fear, maybe even unknown, and that's very special, especially when you're not used to it, right? You're like 300 kilometers, 400 kilometers. I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I can get to the other side. So you start something without knowing how it's going to end, and that is really exciting. Add to that it can be really fun to ride off-road. Yeah, Mongolia did this to me, man. Well, Tajikistan started, and then once you got the hang of it, of really blasting in the sand, and that ruined me for life. But the new top case, he's a bit heavy, man. Look, when I got the side bags, I'm going to do how I used to have it. I'm going to put the tent and the sleeping bag in the top case, so I can take some weight out of that. But they do take a lot of space. It kind of sucks, but the top case does add already 4 or 5 kilos extra. I can feel it, and it sits more to the back, of course. So helps a bit twisty, man. I'm kind of used to that, but it's more than usual. So that's not very good for the off-road, especially with my fork situation, which is horrible, and my stupid looking high-ass risers because otherwise they hit the Africa Twin tank, the handlebars. I got to change that in the future. I need to get like deep, like the rentals are like this. So I would like to get some really deep handlebars, you know, like with that U shape. So you don't need risers or just really small ones because it's just that whole front end, man. It's messed up. Ideally, I would like a different front end on there one day. Um, I went on a tangent there again, but yeah, deserted road, man. Feeling alone in the world. And you're actually alone. That's special. What do we got? Hey Pedro, this is Dennis Kelly. Hey Pedro, I'm looking to get into off-road riding and see you are good at it. How much practice does it take to be as good as you? I would say proficient at it. How long does it take? I don't know. Like first you're familiar with your bike, right? And then I did in Tajikistan. That's where a lot of off-road and then the rock started, and you learn to balance the bike, you know. But sand was still an issue. And then I go to Mongolia, and I had some 2-3 good wipeouts, you know. And then you decide I'm just going to go 90 the next time I hit the really soft stuff, and you don't wipe out all of a sudden. All of a sudden you're standing, you know. You're not wiping out. To get there, I guess it didn't take me that long. You got to be comfortable with it. It's just getting comfortable, and also accept that. Well, yeah, you know, you're gonna fall. Something's gonna happen. But if you start out in the sand, get an open space. Don't go riding in the sand where it's full of trees, because if you start veering, you know, and you hit a tree, that won't be good. Start in an open space, long open space where you can get up to 80, 90 and get comfortable with sand and dirt. Try things, you know, step up your limit every time. I remember, and then it got me to a point in Australia. I did a lot of gravel road riding with insane corrugations. There were corrugations there where I had to kick it up to at least 110, right, to be comfortable. And I had to manage that. Meanwhile, this is corrugations, really serious ones. Normally 90, 95 is enough with a lot of sand. And still, Alp was fishtailing, and it feels horrible, right? But I kept going faster, but my brain is telling me, go slow down. This is bad. This is dangerous. That's also one of the things, right? In the sand, going fast is safer than going slow. And it's really messed up, that whole thing. It doesn't make any sense. So it's getting used to that notion too, right? And only because I had more experience in the sand that I kept hitting, going up to 110, 120 on this corrugation, still fishtailing with Alp. And that's really weird. And for full experience, you get comfortable, and you know, the more you do it, the faster it goes. I can't tell you an exact time frame. We just got to try things out and get comfortable and get comfy with it, and accept that things can happen. So don't get your dream bike right away, you know. So get something smaller, something used, and get some experience. Pedro, tell me, which of these countries have you been to? Did you find the most beautiful women? Ronald Biggs asks. Brazil has some very beautiful women. Iran had some very beautiful women. There's always beautiful women, but you know, there's definitely some more stand out. Armenia was nice. But Japan, in Asia. Japan was very nice. Yeah, there you go. I'm probably missing out still. But yeah, there's some beautiful ladies out there. Great people, great, pretty ladies. All right. Pedro, why don't you show more interaction with people along the way? Felipe Madruga. I do show that, at least especially on since I got into Brazil or parts of Bolivia. I'm just off road a lot, so I don't always meet a lot of people. And there's been plenty of situations where I don't feel like bothering people, or I don't feel like putting the camera in their face. Especially in my earlier days, you know, that like this evolved. Like what I do now, okay, I have videos in my mind to create. Before, when I was traveling, if you see the compilation videos, I didn't record a lot of videos of people because I wasn't recording for YouTube, just for myself. And I didn't, most of the time, they didn't want to bring a camera into someone's home because a lot of times I was a guest and it's like, oh, here's a camera in your face, right? But nowadays, more people are prepared. They might know me already, so they know what's up. But I do record more than a few interactions. Or at the border, I watch out at the border. A lot of times you don't want to push your luck. I could record more at the border, for example, if I wanted to, but a lot of times the border is the place where everyone thinks to go smoothly and not, you know, get on someone's bad side, you know. So I take it easy there. I've seen other people, they record everything at the border, but there's been instances where people at border have gotten pissed with me at me about that sort of thing. This message is held for review. Do you prefer the dirt road over asphalt? Yeah, Moidy asks, comes back to what I said. Definitely. Yeah, it just adds a whole new dimension to riding. A good touring road is nice, but nice dirt road is extra nice. In Rio Grande do Sul, there is one of the biggest beaches in the world, 20 kilometers, and some people ride on motorcycles, Pedro Enrique says. I might do that. I might actually do that down south. Thing is, I'm still using that custom sprocket, and the ratio is off, so I'm missing a lot of torque. So we'll see how the weight distribution is on Alp when everything's ready. And I'm thinking of doing that road on the beach because it's a lot of compacted sand further up top. You do have to cross river bits sometime. Somebody told me about that road. And so it goes down to Uruguay, right? And it looks like a lot of fun. Way to go, asks. So you are a respected world traveler and writer. Do you have this adventure in mind long before you set off, dreaming this stuff during your school days? Not to this scope, not to this extent. Vladivostok was the mission, and I thought back then, well, I might end up in Canada, United States after that. I ended up in Japan and then Australia anyway. But what I was thinking about in university, I got to a point where I've been thinking about this for 3 years there already. And I went backpacking after that. And then I came back and I was like, I got to get on a motorbike. But I've been thinking that about a long time. But generally, how I wanted to do my life, to live my life, was in uni, finishing up my master's. And I already knew that I wasn't going to do anything with my education. And I wanted to do things a bit different. In part, I didn't have a clue also, but I just knew like there's a different way. And the motorcycle, just getting out there, really pushed things in a completely different direction. And that's where I think some partly subconsciously and consciously, that's what I really wanted to do. And I've been on that for a long time. University wasn't, you know, I had really good times there too, but I really had some bad times there. It wasn't the place really where I belong. And then it took me some time to get it finished. Looking back, should I have done it? I don't know. Could have started doing something else a lot sooner, but I did it, which is kind of typical in the Netherlands. You know, there's a lot of push for education, university, right? It's the most important thing you got to do. Otherwise, you might end up as a plumber or a carpenter. Scary shit. That's what goes on in the Netherlands. Get an education. Anyway, so it was on my mind for quite a long time. So that kept me sane in a way too. And then when I did that trip, 2010 or 2011, when I bought Alp, I finished my license late 2010, I think, 2011 early. Got licensed, bought Alp in May And in the summer, we were on the road to Istanbul. And after I did that trip for a month, 9,000 Ks to Istanbul and back to the Netherlands, I was hooked. You know, I wanted to know what was on the other side of the Bosphorus River. And I found out. It was dope. One and a half hour. Let me just ask, folks, are we still having fun here? Is it still, are you still hanging? Can you still, I'm still bearable. Yes, loving this. Thanks, Dennis Kelly. Could you tell us what is the final destination? Urban Coyote 72 asks. North America, Canada, Alaska, and there I will evaluate. Sounds so official. I shall evaluate the trip once I get to North America. Yes, but I'll see how I feel about it. How's it going? How things are going? How YouTube is going too, you know? Because again, early followers know that this has been increasingly a thing that I've been wanting to do, that I've been doing and putting more energy in, you know? And I'll see how things are going. Maybe I'll continue. Maybe I'll stop a little bit. I don't know. But there's other places in the world and I still want to ride. But maybe I'll change my style of riding. I don't, you know? So I might put a hold to it. Or not. But even if I put a hold on it, it wouldn't be the end of it. I would get back to it because there's still other parts of the world or a place I would want to go back with, but maybe with a completely different setup, you know? Lighter, faster. Yeah. But North America, we'll see how it goes. So tell your friends, you know, about the channel, tell the peeps, tell them what's going on, you know. So if this YouTube thing, you know, works, you know, and can keep this growing, that also will give me incentive to keep on going. Because it's something I want to do right, you know. It's something I'm working on. But I also have other ideas that I could do on YouTube, and they would only be in part related to motorcycles or travel. But right now, this is what I'm doing. Get to the States and see how I feel there and where things are. Yep, dude, keep it up, mate. No worries. How easy is it to get? I'm very thirsty. Look at, like, every time I do this thing with you guys, it just gets so thirsty. I just get so thirsty. Someone with a car on the beach, they're just fishing. They're backed up the car and they're basically fishing on the beach from the back of their car. That's brilliant. It's not like, yeah. What was the question? I got distracted by water consumption there. Bikes, easy. How easy it is? How easy is it? Well, it depends. Look, you ride. You got cut out there again. But anyway, but then you want to go to Australia? Got up on a boat, put on a plane. That'll cost you. New Zealand, well, talking about my trajectory, right? Cost you a little bit more again. The boat takes some organizing more than the plane, but the plane needed to stick it in a crane. You got to be patient. Plane is easier than boat because you need to find a transporter for the boat and you got to email back and forth. They don't reply or they take time. Someone does reply and they say, yeah, and then you got to follow up and push them a bit. Hey, remember me? Can we get this thing going? So you need to be patient and sometimes a little bit pushy. You got to sort out a crate or maybe it's roll on and you can sort that out. Then you have to get your own ticket where you're going. You got to set the timing, right? Because if your bike goes on to storage on the other side, be it boat or be it air cargo, you know, storage will cost you. So you got to be there before, and then you got to wait until the vehicle comes. You got to do paperwork on the other side. So there's always a bit of confusion involved. I was just very happy after New Zealand to get it to Chile, South America, big ass American continent, right? No more crazy shipping, unless maybe in Panama. That's the thing, right? It goes on a little boat that you can do. I've been getting some tips on that. But here's the thing, like, um, I know I'm on another subject all of a sudden, but in Panama, I would actually like to try and do the Darien Gap. People have done it. It is possible, but you can't legally stamp into Panama, which is the biggest problem. If you know anyone who's done that, who did the Darien Gap overland, be it Jeep, motorcycle, trekking, bicycle, I don't know. Let me know what their experiences was. But I know that it's been done. Something I would like to do and consider. So yeah, but usually that Panama bit can cost you. Just some people have paid ridiculous money just to do that little bit from Panama, from Colombia to Panama, or reverse. But I've heard you have to. We were cut out there. But yeah, I'm happy that I don't have to do any transportation for quite a while. To help with gas, we love your channel, Pedro. Thanks, Diana Eden, or Aiden. Diana Aiden. Yeah, that's depend, which language. It's a Dutch name. Anyway, I digress. Thank you. We'll fill her up. I heard Uruguay is going to be expensive to fill up. Luckily, it's only this big. Now you are one of us. How exactly would you change your style of riding? So yeah, bit of a, well, starts off with a one-cylinder motorcycle, geared more towards off-roading, some power, bit of proper structural integrity to carry some weight, and manage the weight better. Good soft luggage, still a top case probably, right? But yeah, go lighter on the bike. Have a balanced luggage system, and a more modern bike with some fantastic suspension. Navigation, not that I necessarily like. I'm good at navigating on a phone. It's great, but if I would want to start doing off-road tracks, for example, a stint through the desert, I don't know, 50 Ks or something, or like what I was doing in Bolivia. Remember when I decided to go into no man's land where there was no, not even a track, nothing, to try and get to the other side? That's fun. Like, navigate your own route. I would like to get my hands dirty with that. That would be so much fun. That would be the different style. I don't know, that just like, yeah. That's the kind of, yeah, like whenever I do that, I just feel really alive. So that's a bit of, that's the motorcycle drug, what it's really condensed to for me. All right, Pedro, just having a few beers watching this, mate. Cheers, Snowy McGuire. I'm having water here like a boss. I'm thirsty too. Getting on the piss, eh? Watching the Pedro Moto live stream. I don't know how to screw a cap on. Excuse me. Saludos desde Chile, Jimmy Cifuentes. Saludos, Joseph Katipovich. Any love on trip? Yeah, but not going to get into super details in that. But you meet girls still on the road, but nothing serious. You always, yeah, if you get too serious, you're always saying goodbye, man. If you had the choice, would you pick the Transalp again or a different bike? Yeah, in this case, like I would like to definitely try out something different in the future, but also what I want to do, the style of riding, and the modern bikes, they have their quirks, right? Trustworthy, reliability has dropped, but they've become lighter, different kind of material, there's some machines out there, I imagine, that you ride them off road, they're silky smooth, and um, I can take Alp off road, no issue, But I would like to get much better and go even harder on that kind of terrain, and then a bike that's geared more towards that would be kind of bike that I would ride. See what Honda does when they bring out the new Transalp, how that's like. Would definitely give that a try. What's happening, Honda? When is that? I've been hearing about that for a couple of years, but does anybody know what's happening with the new Transalp? Is that still in the works? Helder Lima. Boa noite, Pedro. Olá. Olá de Angola. Boas curvas. Angola. It's Africa, where I want to head out one day. Go visit the ex-colonies of Portugal. Angola, Mozambique. Just go riding the Tet in Sweden in summer on my 1983 Honda CB250. What GPS app do you use when you are offline? Yeah, man, hit the Tet. If I'm back in Europe, I'm going to get on that Tet too. I use offline Maps.me. And when I started out, I used to use OSM Maps. What I like about Maps.me, I haven't really tried OSM Maps really after that, but Maps.me just shows the little routes and sometimes shows trekking routes that you can still take with the bike. Not in New Zealand though, because it's more important to get bloody trekkers. They get all the good stuff in New Zealand. You aren't allowed to take the dirt bike. But in other countries, there's little dotted lines, which is for mostly trekking or very small tracks, and you can still sometimes take that on a motorbike. Maps.me shows that. Google already starts to break down on smaller roads. You don't see them off-road, forget about it. Sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't. But city riding, I use Google most of if I have internet. But Maps.me is brilliant. Fuel is more expensive in Uruguay, but more quality. Yes. Yeah, they put crap here in Brazil for sure. Let's have a look-see here. Castigo, 1986. How's the new top box doing? Is it too cumbersome? Here's what happened though. Water was getting in. So I got this top box, right? And I liked the design, but they were already designed it with that support on top, that extra baggage carrier. I didn't really want that. And they already had 2 holes for a seat for a passenger, what do you call that? Lumbar back support, right? But it was the only case with that design. I liked the design. So I got that case. I left that support rack on there. And they put some rubber seals on those 2 holes. And I was like, yeah, forget about it. It's all good. But water was coming in. I fought through those 2 holes, right? The rubber wasn't sealing. And I did a lot of riding in the rain and got to Foz do Iguaçu. And I had this bag with old documents at the bottom. It was completely wet. It was actually starting to get moldy in there. The drone case and my cap, my Flavio cap was moldy on the inside. It's like shit. So I took the rubber seals out. I put what do you call it? Kit, like a sealant. Closed the holes with a sealant. And then I checked the support up there, the baggage support, and like one screw was really loose. So the Allen key, I tightened that up, and then I tightened the rest, which even better, And then I was like, when I got the box, my doubts were the bottom plate, which is the same thickness as the rest. But because of all the moving around that's going to happen, I think it's going to bend out of shape a little bit. And I was looking at the bottom, and I'm sure they put it together, and they also put like the kit sealant in between the aluminum pieces. I was looking at that, and I was like, you know what? I got the sealant out anyway. So I sealed off the inside, the bottom completely, the edges too, and I'm missing words. The pop rivets, yeah. That's why these things are cheaper. They use pop rivets, but not every pop rivet is done as perfectly as the other. So maybe there's a little bit more wiggle. So I sealed the pop rivets too. And I think didn't get any rain in yesterday. So yeah, that was a bit of a nasty surprise, but that could happen. It's not you're not buying a completely perfect closed off GV or Touareg. You know, there's a reason why these things are a bit more affordable. That was a bit of a nasty surprise, but I think I've sorted it out. Other than that, it's magnificent. Boom, open up. I got space. It's heavy though, but I still keep the tool bag. I have a tool bag this big, you know. That's going to move to the side bags, I hope. And then top case is going to be a bit lighter. Clothes. Snug. I like it. I like it. Diana Eden, Honda all the way. Yeah. I like me Honda. Pedro Henrique, gas in Brazil is the shittiest and most expensive in the world. I don't know most expensive, but it's not always that great. But yeah, for €1 and what you get. Dean ML. To be honest, I bought a XL650 Transalp just because of Pedro's videos. Dope, man. That still blows my mind sometimes that people watch something and they're like, all right, I'm gonna get the same bike as he. It's crazy. Marcos Shakur, did you see a big tiger in Brazil? A onça? No. I only saw him on videos. I'm glad I didn't see the onça. Você tem que ter cuidado com a onça. Novice Thief. I saw the first videos before painted the Transalp. Holy damn, man. You're OG, man. Is that the one before I started the project in New Zealand? Because I was still trying to make episodes in out in there. So we made a drop to 135 people now. Let me know if you do a little bit, but people are starting to drop off. But if you're still entertained, we'll keep a little bit going still. Buzz R1200 RT. Hey Pedro, since you obviously cover huge mileage, would your next bike have cruise control? Doesn't have to, but just electronic stuff, right? But internet is not very good. We lost a lot of people. I was saying, I got this clip on the throttle, and that's what you see me adjusting sometimes. But I can rest my hand on there, so I don't have to do this. I'm happy with that. That thing's amazing. Patrick Murawski zegt, he says, gewoon doorlullen. Just keep on bullshitting. Just keep on talking. Way to go. All good. Talk away. 3 beers left here. Just keep chugging them away. What are you playing? Are you playing a game? Any chance a beer game? When I make gestures, that's a good one. I make a lot of gestures. So every time I make a gesture, you have to drink. Or when I say certain words, or every time I go off on a tangent, you can drink. Let's see. Are you coming to America for sure? Yeah, like I'm not going to say for sure, but that's my mission, and get to Canada. But I don't make any promises anymore because I'll only disappoint. My plans always just. Oh, you got a drink now. I made a gesture. My plans are always changing, but like getting to North America is definitely a big one for me. I got family there to visit in Canada. Michael Walensky, every time you drink, he drinks. Well, I would have to get on the beer officially too, right? And here in Brazil, they drink shop, but it's very weak beer. So I don't know what you're drinking. If you're in Australia, maybe, or in the UK. If you're in the UK, you're drinking something proper strong. You know, that would be a tough one. The Brazilians like their beer quite weak, so they can just drink it all day. Jacques says, have to go to bed now on this side of the world. Keep it safe. Sleep well. Good night. And see you next time.
Cedric Friends, and every time you do the Australian accent is a good drinking game. Yeah, right. That would be a good game. Even every episode, right? Episode I do it. Yeah, just drink something. Play the drinking game with my travel with my the vlogs. But drink something. Drink shots every time I speak Aussie accent. Chug one. Ronald Biggs. I started watching your videos because I also have a Transalp 700. I went with it in Ushuaia. It was 14,400 kilometers without problems. Transalp is completely reliable. True story. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to get there too. Just getting back to the Cordillera, man. Finding the off-road tracks next to that beautiful mountain range. That's for me. It's mostly the ride down there. Ushuaia is it's going to be nice, right? But it's going to be super touristy down there. Expensive, busy, and touristy. It's more about that just ride down for me, man. Greg Ferris, my wife and I enjoy following your adventures. Cheers, Greg. See this is how the ladies end up, watching my videos, but it don't show up in the stats because they're probably the guy has the account and it shows up like my stats 98% dudes watching. This channel is a sausage fest, man. But so there's some undercover ladies watching too. Thanks for watching. With you, man. If he gets all excited to get on the road, cut him some slack. Let him go for a little trip, eh? There's guys out there who can manage to make it happen, But I know there's some missuses out there who can make things a little bit more difficult. But relax, loosen up, let the man go on a little adventure. Maybe you can join him one day, Let him go explore a little, and he comes back and he can tell you some amazing stories. Just a man needs to go a little bit out there every now and then, Rodrigo Barroso, se vieres a Portugal serás bem-vindo. Obrigado, Rodrigo. The real questions, the important stuff, the breaking news kind of stuff. Have you ever been caught having to take a dump in the bushes? Does a bear shit in the woods? Definitely. I've had some plenty situation. I'm like, should I put this in a video? I don't know. There was this one time in Bolivia on a track. I don't know if I ended up doing that, but yeah, if I was showing, yeah. Well, let's not get into that. But yeah, sure, man. Dude, in Australia, someone didn't believe me when I said this once, but once you go remote in Australia, water becomes $5, right? Bottle of water. Up north, I was drinking 6 liters a day, 7 liters, and that is 4 or 5 bottles of water every day. So imagine spending 25 Aussie dollars on water every day. Insane. So I would fill up my bottles with bore water at the gas station, right? It's like, I don't recommend drinking it, but you can. Oh, drink. And drink. I don't know which game you're playing, but you definitely got to drink. So I'd fill up my bottles with bore water, and sometimes they would be a bit contaminated, like, I don't know, bacteria or something. Like, I don't know what it is, but it would upset your stomach. So I would fill up all these bottles, new place. It's like a lottery, right? Got a new set of bottles, and then chuck them on the bike. I would be off, have a drink, and then be all good. But sometimes 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. At one time it was really, really bad. It's kind of story I don't know. It's not you can't tell during dinner, really. Not sure if it's an appropriate story to tell the well-respected viewers that I have. But yeah, sometimes it will give me the proper shits, and sooner than later. And one time I couldn't even get out of sight. Just okay, gotta get off the bike, dig a hole. And just let it rip. And it was like people walking, like there's an entrance to some national park there, and it's just people driving by. There I was. But hey, the water was free. But then, like you get it, your stomach gets upset, and then you just keep drinking the same water. You're good. You just get, sometimes your stomach gets upset one time. So it happens. For fuck's sake, buy a water filter. Yeah, way to go. Yeah, I should get on that, right? Patrick, hoeveel sok heb je al versleten? How many socks have I used as toilet paper? Like, not once, not once. I have used grass and leaves, though. Wendy Iredale. I watch all the videos. A lady rider, 66 years old. You go, girl. And still riding, hopefully for a few more years. Definitely. Stay on there. You'll see in the video soon. I went to a place with a wonderful family. They had an Airbnb, and this has had like a 1200, I don't know, 1200 Harley, you know, like, I don't know, 45 or older, like, doesn't matter. Riding that beast. You know, that's cool. Keep on riding. Four cans so far, Pedro. It's your turn, mate. Oh, this is rough, man. Hey, it would be cool if it turns out this is vodka, right? If you look, if you had caught me during my early days, I would be playing this drinking game with you. Back in 2004, after I ran all the way to Russia, I would have always a bottle of vodka in my panniers. Became quite a proficient vodka drinker. You know, in the mountains, oh, bottle of vodka at the counter store. He looks under the counter, €1, right? And the same in Mongolia, €1 vodka. And the Mongolian vodka was gnarly ass. I had to hurl, like, the first bottle. Every time I took a swig, I was like, I felt like I had to throw up. The second bottle, I became a lot more proficient at it. You know, but, you know, by the fire, you got your smokes, you know, Starlight. It's, you know, nice stiff drink. I was more about that back then. So yeah, I could have joined you, but not so much anymore. And then in Japan, it was the Santori whiskey. For $6-7, you had like a bottle of whiskey from the 7-Eleven. But then I noticed that as time went by, like the bottles would empty faster and faster. And it's like, so that's how you develop a drinking habit. Pedro Enrique, you had cachaça. I think, yeah, Brazilian stuff. And my caipirinha during New Year. But there's a variety of cachaça, right? And I just had the cheap stuff. And I didn't drink that much, and I still got a headache the next day, man. The cheap stuff is not good. I would like to try some quality cachaça. Paulo Caligaris, hi from Slovenia. Hello back to Slovenia. I am in UK, mate. Yeah, and you're drinking some pretty good piss. Adia, I let my husband go on a ride. Hey, neato. This is what we like to hear, boys. Message retracted. Interested in how you manage. Dale Ray, interesting how you manage your expenses traveling South America. Well, fuel, food, fuel. I call it fuel, surviving, staying alive, and accommodation. And fuel, just assume €1 per liter. It's going to get cheaper, I think, up in Colombia, Ecuador, and all that, Peru, like it was in Bolivia, right? Now in the expensive part, accommodation will get more. I'm still in the expensive accommodation part. You know, Brazil has been €15 like average. You know, that's a bit on the higher side, I find. For me, €10 I find acceptable, but especially Rio Grande do Sul is more expensive too. But yeah, it's 10 to 15 euros for accommodation, but you won't always be, if you bring a tent, if you do a trip like this, you have to camp. Come on. So you won't always be paying for accommodation. You'll get invited. And then food. I have food. I would say like food, €10 a day. And it's going to get no more than that once you hit Colombia, Ecuador, because it's very cheap. Central America, very cheap. So yeah, think about that, So a full tank a day, at least 25 euros for fuel, food 35, accommodation 40, 50. So now, yeah, I always had something around 30 to 50, maybe a day. Is that right? Well, 50 is on the higher side at the moment because of Brazil. Argentina is probably going to be cheaper because of the peso situation. Yeah, something like that. 30 to 50. All calamities, right? Yeah, unexpected. Yeah, that will cost you. I just hope you have money. Then that's been my style in that regards. Well, then I have to I budget the camera stuff. Like try to upgrade that. Tires dig into your budget. Chain digs into your budget. Chain and sprocket, right? So yeah, expect something like that every couple of months. An expenditure there. Novice thief. How much miles do you have on the bike? Do you know? I'd love to know. Thanks for the support, man. Like I said before, I think it's up to 200,000 by now, and around 140,000 on this trip, or maybe more. I left the Netherlands with 55,000 on there. So yeah, if we were getting to 200,000, I should have 150,000. I lost track. Like I said, I had my original speedometer that got destroyed in a crash, and I had a temporary speedometer that sometimes didn't work. And then I had my current COSO speedometer, digital one, and sometimes for some reason it wouldn't receive the data. So I'm missing out on 5,000 kilometers on there. So I haven't done the math in a while. So I really don't know anymore, just estimates. Let's see. Snowy, beer, mate. Yeah, figured. Joseph Saptipovic, safe trip, man. Thanks. Corina S, I love your video. Don't stop. Thanks. Thank you very much. We got viewers again. Some new people joining in late. That's all good. Welcome everyone who's been coming back. You're keeping me hanging around the 2-hour mark. I get really thirsty, and then you actually, these live streams. It's funny. Like last time, I was exhausted afterwards, man. Exhausted. It's pretty nice. So after I'm done with you fellas, let's have a go look outside, change the scenery. Just looking at my head all the time. Well, you still be looking at my head, but this is all the better part of the day. Once the rain has gone a little bit, there's still clouds, but it's still nice out there. Shall I get a proper view of that, chat? Let me get. It's like, look at that. By the way, very happy with the phone. I can use the drone. I can take nice pictures, and I can actually show you guys a proper live stream because I'm going to do this more often. But it was such a potato phone before that. How do you like that, folks? Hey, look, everyone! It's a Dutch flag. Oh, it's a red, white, and blue. But what is that? Like a state flag or a? Not Paraguay. Can I zoom in? Whoa, I can. Is it zoomed in? Chat? Because I can't see it on a laptop anymore. Is it zoomed in? Neat. So what flag is that? Nederland. Gekoloniseerd. Well, that's neato. Let's do that with the beach. And sorry, guys, this is not Copacabana, so it's not the kind of beach for the ladies. See, there's someone who's got life figured out, Just fishing, bro. Got my car on the beach. Got a box of piss. Well, maybe some cachaça and just fishing, mate. Y'all got more of them pixels? Someone asked the phone. It's
Let's switch this around. Oh, it's not in front of the camera though. Oh, this is awkward. Hi, we're back. Here's my face. Or do you want to have the beach back? The phone is a Motorola G7 Plus. I almost got the Moto G7 Power, but just before Christmas, the Plus went on sale and it was only like $20 more expensive. So I got that one. And well, I just did an extensive search, and Motorola makes the best out of the budget phones. So decent phone, works with the drone, with the Mavic, decent screen too, you know. And the Plus has the better camera, which isn't a great camera of the G7 series, but it had the best one. So I can actually take proper pictures, which will be good for Instagram, and proper video and proper live stream. So that's good. I just hope the quality is good over time too, you know. How do I get the chat back? Here we go. Yeah, I thought it was something Paraguay-like. Yeah, right? Hello from Canada. Oh, wait, let me do it again, Ernie. Hello from Canada, my friend. Hey there, buddy. Hello back from Brazil. Want to get drunk? Smoke some dope, you know? Watched too much Trailer Park Boys recently. Greg Ferris is asking, do most places take credit cards? What is the most expected? What is the most accepted? Wife Nancy wants to know about the rabbit. Well, let's start off with the first question. A lot, like through the heart of the continent, from Europe, you know, to Vladivostok, not so much, you know. But surprisingly, for example, in Chile, oh, there's hot dog stands. They like the hot dogs in Chile. There's hot dog stands where you can pay with credit cards sometimes. So Bolivia, not so much. Here in Brazil, yeah, gas station, definitely. So that's sweet. But probably once I go to Colombia, Peru, again, not so much. Sometimes it's nice to pay with a credit card because you don't have to go pull money out, especially if a country has brutal ATM fees like Argentina. And what was the question about? Is it about the rabbit? The rabbit is a kangaroo. I found him somewhere in Canada, in Australia. Cleaned him up, chuck him behind the windshield, and after the rebuild, he ended up out here, so on the top where he sits now. So that's, yeah, he just joined us on the ride and hasn't left us since. And I hope he doesn't for a long time. Sometimes I worry that someone might yank him off or steal him. Favorite football team? Oh, that's gotta be careful, man. That's like getting into politics. I don't follow football. I had a while after 2014 that I didn't watch football, and just last year, because of the World Cup, I started following a little bit again because I didn't want to care about football anymore. But back in the Netherlands, I would follow Ajax. In Portugal, it's Benfica. In UK, it was Chelsea, and in Spain, it was Madrid. Ron Bosga. Ajax? Yeah, that's right. Beer it. Everybody disliked that. Yeah, there you go, you know. So don't ask me about football and politics and all that. Doesn't help. Did you ever got fined for driving habits on your trip? Speeding, lane splitting? No. On my first trip, I got fined, me and my buddy, because we were goose stepping the bikes through the shopping center street, which we thought was still kind of part of the road, but you weren't allowed to ride there. We got fined. That was in 2011. It's the only time I got fined. I got a fine in Australia. First day I got to Sydney in front of the backpackers in Bondi. I put the bike on the sidewalk, but on the grass, right? In front of a backpackers, this fully loaded bike. I go inside to inform. I come back outside. I got a ticket. Like, come on. Like I say, I always want to keep eye on the bike, close as possible, because it's loaded up. I got a ticket for that, but you know, my
license plate isn't registered, so I owe Australia some tolls. I might owe Sydney, the state of New South Wales, quite some tolls. But because of the license plate, you're good. So no, but fined, no, that's been good. Oh, I've been stopped by police. Remember that episode in Argentina? Because I crossed the yellow line on a very long straight amount behind a truck, and they let me go, which was unbelievable, actually, that I managed. They wanted to take my license. Right, this is a bit rough. I like to show you outside, but it's makes for a rougher recording. 2:15, we're not, as in time span. Are we still liking this chat? I'd say I go on for another 15 minutes tops. All right? What do you reckon? ¿Qué piensan? What do you think? So thirsty. Ratstatouille. What's your favorite place in Turkey? I must go there soon. Thanks for sharing. Eastern Turkey was really beautiful. Just wide open spaces, like the steppe, but with hills. I call it the land of the dinosaurs. That was really nice. And in Turkey, there's a lot of nice things to see. Historic old monuments, Greek cities, but you have to pay to go see them. Just like in Brazil, you have to go pay to see everything. So Turkey has some cool ancient stuff to see, but Eastern Turkey was really nice to ride. And Istanbul is just brilliant. You need to experience Istanbul. Well, let's hook the power up. Do we still have enough light? It looks decent on the phone, but it looks weird. Yeah, or does everything get fuzzy on the screen? Ah, no, that's all right. There's a bit of a flare. We got a bit of a J.J. Abrams flare going on. Neato. I'll send out for more beer. Hey, don't use me as an excuse, eh? You better not be drinking Stella. Way to go. Because otherwise the missus is not going to be it's not going to be happy about that. We got cut out there for a second. What was I saying? I was checking comments. How do I get that back? Oh. And I hope you mean fiction. I know what's going on in a lot of you guys' heads, Hi, Pedro. Lots of love from India. Rohit Korade. Thanks, bro. Come to India, bro, one day. Which port did ship Del Rey? Which port did ship into from... Wait. Which port did ship into from New Zealand? Okay. From New Zealand or to New Zealand? To New Zealand, I shipped it to Auckland. Yes, Auckland. And then got me some fish and chips, and got the bike off a plane. Went from Sydney. And then from Christchurch, South Island to Santiago by plane. Interesting you say your bike has no registration, Del Rey asked. It's a foreign license plate, so it doesn't, until now, it's never registered in systems. And I hope it's not happening in Brazil either, because they have a lot of these fine machines here, right? And I haven't braked, like I slow down for them too. They're actually quite dangerous. People step on the brakes hard, right? Yeah, there's been plenty. I'm not that I've noticed flashes, but I don't expect Brazil to register, but it wouldn't be good if they do. But a country like, if I didn't get on my way out of Australia, if they didn't go like, hey, man, yeah, well, you got to pay all of this, or even in Japan, I don't know if something happened. Not in Japan, I was speeding because Japan has an average top speed of 50, no bullshit, and 60 sometimes. Only the highway can go fast. You can go fast, but it's expensive. But you only get big fines if you speed 30 beyond 30 over the limit. So I was always like 20 over the limit there. But I didn't get hear anything from that. So the thing is, your foreign plate doesn't register, even though you have temporary import right. Your foreign plate doesn't register in their automated system. So that's kind of it. You know, I worked in Sydney for 6 months, right? A lot of demolition jobs, and I had a lot of jobs all over the place, or painting jobs, but mainly demolition, demo, good fun. And so I would have jobs all over Sydney. It was a blast, man, just because you got to know the city. And sometimes I even worked up in North Ride. So I was living in Bondi in a hostel, and I would ride 30 kilometers up the North Ride. So I'd take the CBD, which at 7 a.m., not busy. And then I'll take the Anzac Bridge, the cross, $5 every time. And I worked 5-6 days a week. So I never paid a dime for that, that's the perks of a foreign license plate. Don't tell Australia. Don't tell them that. I owe New South Wales money. Let's see. You better come off that vape, best of everything said. Ain't healthy vaping glycerine. Get yourself dry herb vape. Is that so? Like I got comments like a few months ago. I don't follow news, so I was like, what's this weird thing? Why is everybody having comments? And then all these few people, those kids died in the United States, and I was like, what's that all about? And then I found out that they started cutting up this the glycerine. No, it's actually they had the HTC TX for the joules. I don't know exact name, right? They started mixing that stuff like they cut down drugs with something else in it that's bad for you. They started cutting up the glycerine stuff with vitamin E oil, but you can't vape oil. So that oil started leaving a film on people's lungs, right? These kids, and started congesting the lungs, and then they started dying. But it's because they started mixing. These are like black market cartridges, and because they mixed it up with oil, but they're like glycerine doesn't have any oil. So, and then they went completely ballistic in the States. But I hope they're still rectifying the whole thing, because they were just putting bad stuff in those cartridges that doesn't belong there, and that's why those kids died. Do you carry? You're alive. Okay, we disconnected there. Do you carry any weapon, gun? No. I have my multi-tool with a knife in there. There's times I put it in the side pocket of my tent just in case. But no. I don't know. Weapon is a thing of escalation again, right? You're more inclined to escalate. I get like, oh man, I wouldn't travel without a gun, and a knife. Like there's no winners in a knife fight. So yeah, look, if it gets to that point, you're in a bad place. You're in a place where you got to use a gun, and maybe the other one has a gun. Like what's happening? Let's see. What do we got here? Oh, let's get that back straight a little bit. Like I said, it takes a little bit of energy doing a proper live stream. And it's 6:30. I'll have about an hour of daylight. So like 10 minutes, I'm gonna catch myself some ocean view before the sun goes down. I've been having a blast with you fellas. And one or two of you might be drunk. They wouldn't steal an old bike, do they? Are you talking about Brazil? That's what they said, like it's better drive something that they don't want to steal in cities like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro. But with me, of course, I have the tank bag. What's in the tank bag? I have the top box. Ooh, if I have the other GoPro on the steering. So sometimes you want to be more inconspicuous to avoid attention. Let's see. Carlo Costa, groetjes uit België. Cumprimentos de português na Bélgica. Abraço, Ricardo Costa. I think I've seen you in the comments before. Take it easy, man. What we got? Novice Thief. I've been at. Oh, we're back. Hello, everyone. So I got cut out again. Giulio Buzzini, he asked, when will you finish mounting the side bags? Once I get them, they're going to Porto Alegre, and then I'll get them on. Won't be great side bags. I think they'll make it down and a little bit up, and then I'm going to do something else. But I just want to get it over with. I just want to get this on there. The stream is very unstable. It was disconnected again. Support. Oh, Novice Thief. No worries. Thanks for the support. I think, again, do you have a lot of exercise to keep in shape? Curious to know how to avoid back pain. Any tips? Just more exercise, more regularly. Like I have stints where I work out in the gym. Just like when people ask me, they see how I pick up the bike, right? I don't do the thing where I put the bike, my back, I don't like that thing. It doesn't work very well. The bike sits completely flat, and I have to pull the steering a lot, and it just can dig into my tank, you know? So when I pick up the bike, people always call me, Pedro, you're not lifting it right. But what I do, in most of the cases, it goes like that. Sometimes it includes a little bit more of the back, but in most cases, I basically do it with the bike. So I'm at an angle, I go, I crouch down, and I lift from my legs and all the way up to the buttocks, you know, like a squat. So in no way am I'm tensing my body in a certain way to lift like I would do a squat. So that's how I lift up Alp. So that's good practice. And because of, you know, gymming experience, that helps. But do more exercise and just more riding, and you get used to it more. But, you know, if your back is weak, and I have days where long days and you're slouched over, that's not very great. So if you can do more back exercises, try to get on the pull-ups, or just something as simple as this, you know, this exercise, you know, do 3 sets of that, do 5 sets of that to train. If you're taller, I have a buddy who was pretty tall, and he used young dude, right? So he uses one of those belts because he's tall. He has a very large, long torso, Dutch guy, of course. So he uses that belt, right? So depending also on your body type, maybe you need a little bit of extra support, but don't take my word for it. I'm no expert on that. Let's have a look, see. Yeah, week back. Yeah, might be worth getting that. What do you call that? That belt with the what do you call that? Anyway, like a support, you know, might be worth it. All right, folks, I'm working towards ending the stream. Not that I'm not enjoying myself here. Usually 2 hours is the point where it starts tapering off a bit, you know. But we're at 2.5 hours already. Like I just realized, 2.5 hours sitting here now. Jeez. So again, time flies with you fellas. But you know, it's been good on the phone, right? It's been nice. So we're going to keep that for on the road, and I'm looking forward to do it on some good spots. You know, when I'm in Argentina, get the credit, have plenty of data credit, and try and do it from nice spots. But you know, if quality drops below 4G, it can get really bad. So don't get all, Pedro, it's horrible. Why do you do this? It's more like, I actually want to try and live stream from some nice places. There's some solutions that can help with that, but they cost $1,000. So not yet. But it's been grand. Been having a blast. You know what I have more than actually the back? Some days are rougher, yeah. Quality of the saddle of the Transalp is like somewhere in the middle. It's not bad, definitely not bad, but not the greatest. But what I call clutch knee, especially in countries with a lot of speed bumps. Brazil has quite a few. Iraq had speed bumps where I always had to slow down, just these concrete bumps, like bam. So gear down 1, 2, free, then gear back 2, back to 4, 5. And when you do, like a lot of riders, I think, let me know if you guys, some of you out there have that too, but your knee starts to ache on the inside. So that's what I call the clutch knee. And my back's pretty good, but the knee stuff can get a bit annoying actually, and it just stays. And it's not like something can go away, but it just comes back just as easily. Thanks for the stream, loved it. Oh, that's great. Try to do it more often, like you say. Let's see. Niergordel. Ja, precies. Kidney belt. I just translated. Someone just translated from Dutch. That's what you need, a kidney belt. Oh, thanks, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, Pedro. Cheers. What is a gear knee? What did I call it? Yeah, no, clutch. Yeah, gear knee, clutch knee. Wow, gear knee, is that what you call it? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what I feel. Kevin Raymond. Oh man, right towards the end there. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the great content. Cheers, Kevin. Cheers, my man. That's a full tank, almost a full tank, probably in Argentina. Adolfo, Transalp forever. Good trip. Greetings from Canarias, Spain. Saludos. Saludos, amigo. All right. So this is the wrap up phase, folks. This is it. Did you have a good time? That sounds like some of you did. I had a good time. Do this more often. More videos. Very awkward videos are coming. Not proud of some that I'll have to make, but it's how it is. That's my life on the road and showing it to you guys. Getting the bags on. When I go to Porto Alegre, waiting for the papers for my motorcycle, and then we're off. Give it a week and a half, and then we're bloody off. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to taking you guys with me, and I'm looking forward to getting to that programming where you get to see what I'm up to more regularly, at least 2 times a week. So yeah, let's get on that. Thanks for the sweet messages, guy. Thanks, Dagus85 for the knock. Cheers, man. StreamYard, I'll look into it. Thanks again, Pedro. Take care, Pedro. Cheers, fellas. Obrigado pelo livro. De Souza, thanks, Pedro. Bye. Show us the sea. The sea. Okay, we'll end with the sea. I love the ocean. I do love the ocean. This is the kind of place, like, if I would have to live somewhere one day, like, this is where I would live. And they have mountains too, like mountains on the mountains and the ocean. It's a great combo, I think. All right, folks, I'm going to wave goodbye now, but I'm going to turn around and you get to see the sea one last time. It's been grand, eh? See all you soon enough. Ciao. The ocean. Beautiful ocean. See you, folks. Oh, Saku. Cheers, bud. Thanks for support. Join in the last minute, but love your videos. Be safe down there. Much love from RI USA. Cheers, bud. Cheers, everyone. Take it easy. Saku just dropping it. Full tank. Almost full tank right at the end there. Cheers, bud. And hope no one has a hangover tomorrow. All right, peeps, I'm out. Peace.